Hey everyone, AngryHoneyBadger here, and it is time for us to take a look at another champion build video today. We're going to be playing as Lissandra, playing her in the middle lane. Today I'm going up against a Rise, which should be fun for me, I suppose. But we're going to go ahead and talk about everything you need to know about Lissandra. We're going to talk about her abilities, we're going to talk about runes, masteries, items, and a little bit of strategy. We're going to actually get into an early little fight. Going to keep using everything I have. We're both level 2. I'm going to go ahead and ignite him before he can get me, and I'm going to pop a health pot to make sure I don't die. And we'll pick up a quick first blood on the over-ambitious Rise player. So we're going to go ahead and get that, which will definitely help me out. Early on in this game, I started out with a Dorans Ring and 2 health pots. Pretty standard stuff if that's what you want to take. If you can do anything else you want, you can do that too. That's what I like to start out with, and that's what I'm going to go for. Early on, this first trip back, I'm going to go ahead and pick up a Ruby Crystal for some health and a ward because J4 is a good ganker, and we need to keep an eye out for that, and I want to make sure we don't die. Luckily, with her, we have some good escapability with our kit, and a handful of other nice things that we can do when not only chasing people, but when we are trying to get away, and we'll get to some of that coming up in a little bit. There you can see we just use one of our abilities to get away. So let's start off by talking about her abilities so we know what is going on. First off, we do have her Iceborne, which is her passive. Every 18 seconds, your next ability costs you no mana. Cooldown reduction does not affect Iceborne, but the cooldown is reduced by 1 second whenever you impair an enemy's movement with an ability. So you get free things to cast. There, we're going to pick up another quick kill because I'm better or something, whatever. But I'm also ahead, so that does help me out there. And we're going to go ahead and keep picking up kills on this Rise. He's trying to get ahead early, but right now he probably should just be farming since I have a couple kills on him at this point. Here also, we are going to see J4 right over here. We're going to be able to catch up and lock him down, and Hoyt will be able to pick up the kill real quick on him. So an assist going to me off of that. So we're doing pretty good early, and we're going to definitely get ahead this game. So that was her passive. That was her Iceborne we just talked about. Basically, you get to cast those free abilities every once in a while. Next, at level 1, what you want to do is put a point into your Q ability, which is your Ice Shard. You throw a spear. If it hits an enemy, it'll then kind of break up, and the shards will pass through targets, dealing some damage. So it does a lot of damage. We're going to be maxing this out first. That's just kind of your main quick poke and awesome damage. That's your Q ability. Then at level 2, you're going to put a point into your E ability, which is called Glacial Path. You can cast a Claw of Ice that moves through targets that deals damage. If you reactivate this ability as it extends out, you will move to that location. If not, you don't have to recast it. You can just use it for the damage, but it's really good for closing gaps to get over by people. We'll see that happen probably right here. I'm going to use it, pop up next to him, and lock him down. Then with my W, and Hoyt will come in and we'll do a lot of damage. I'll also ult him. Hoyt will pick up the kill. Hoyt gets a lot of kills this game too. Me and him both get really fed. But that is what your E ability does. Very, very helpful for, like what I said, closing gaps and for getting away. Both really good. We'll see it used in both ways. And then finally, level 3, you might want to put a point into your Ring of Frost. That was the W. When you are around the enemy champion and you use this, it's going to deal damage to them, and it's going to root them for a short duration so they can't move around. And that's pretty nice for just getting in their face and making sure they don't go anywhere. Or, once again, you can use it for if you're trying to get away and they're right on top of you, you can lock them down. Then you can use that Glacial Path to get away from them. So a few different combinations you can do. You can use her kit as very offensively for chasing, or defensively for trying to escape in case they're running at you really hard. So just be wary of that and some of the things you can do with it. So we've been back to base, I think, a couple times now. We do have the first part. We have a Catalyst right now, which is very nice. We're going to be taking this towards a Rod of Ages. I like the health on her because, well, not only does Rod of Ages scale very well throughout mid-game, and it gives you good stats, it gives you the mana, it gives you health, and it gives you that passive whenever it's activated from when you hit a level. You get both back health and mana, very helpful while laning. But it's going to also help you out because you kind of dive in with her a little bit with your kit. So it's nice to have a little bit of extra health since you're sometimes right on top of them. So that's one nice thing about picking that item up, and that's what we're going to be building towards first. We also do have the first part of our boots, which will be nice for movement, obviously. We're going to move in here and work on this Rise. We're going to lock him down with our ultimate, and I think Hoyt will kill him too. And then I think J4 is going to try to make a retreat. Not sure if we'll get back up to him, but we'll find out in a second. So that is what we're doing there. Anyways, back to the abilities. Finally, then there's your ultimate, which we just saw used on Rise. That's your Frozen Tomb. You can either cast it on you or on the enemy. Actually getting ganked by their top lane too. Gonna just use my path for a split second just to get a little bit more room between me before Hoyt gets here. Didn't need to use the full thing. I didn't want to get hit one time and die to that Rengar, so I just wanted a little bit of gap since I knew they were taking the tower, and luckily I'll be able to get out because of it. And yeah, that's what's going on there. Anyways, we used Frozen Tomb on that Rise not too long ago. You can cast it on the champion, the enemy champion. It'll freeze them, deal a lot of damage to them, stunning them in place. Or you can self-cast it on yourself, which then will make you invulnerable, which is awesome. You can't do anything, but you're invulnerable. So you can kind of jump in, bait with it, or you can just lock them down. Killed Caitlyn there real quick. Fun stuff. So we're back at base because we needed to go heal. We picked up a blasting one. Like I said, we're building towards that Rod of Ages early, and we'll go ahead and keep farming and working on stuff in lane. But those are your abilities. Max out your Q first, then followed by your W, max that out second, max out that Glacial Path last, and points in your ultimate at levels 6, 11, and 16, normal stuff there. So while we are working on everything that we're trying to buy and get fed and everything, we're just trying to poke at him mostly in lane. You can farm fairly easily with your Q ability. You can also just poke at them like that, use the minions, let it shatter against them, deal a lot of damage. That's what you pretty much do in lane when poking. See, there's another one. Now I can move in on him, move over, lock him down, use the ultimate, ignite him, hit him one more time with another Glacial Shard or Ice Shard. And just really quick and easy. You kind of do a couple little pokes with the Ice Shard in lane, get it against the minions if they're standing behind them. It's really good for a poke in lane because they can stand behind the minions like they feel like they're safe, and they're not safe. You can just use it and it'll break off and hit them. So that's what you're using in lane whenever you're really wanting to just kind of do some pokey damage. Once you hit them with a couple, they get kind of low. Then you can move in with the Path. Then you can lock them down with the Frost, and then you can just annihilate them really quick. So once you lock them down in that ultimate, I mean, it's pretty much over for them. They're not going to be able to move. You can ignite them easy. You can hit them with an Ice Shard real quick, and you'll be able to just, kill them fairly quick. So just got killed in mid, just got a 3-man gank kind of happening, and that is okay. We are back at base, and we'll buy. So we did finish off the Rod of Ages. We have also finished off our boots, which will go for Sorcerer's Shoes, which is the Magic Penetration. And obviously it's going to give us our movement speed as well. Still picking up some wards and some pots for, warding areas of the map, and obviously healing up. I always like to try to keep one health pot with me for a while through the game, especially early on. If I get ignited, you can always pop a health pot and try to negate some of the ignite damage if that's what maybe will kill you. So that's just something to maybe just take care of, or just, remember you can do that. Maybe if you're going to get into a strong engagement and you're both going to be trading damage, maybe pop that health pot right when you go in so you just have some health ticking back up for you so you don't hopefully die to them. That might be the exact little bit of health you needed to win an engagement. So just kind of remember that whenever you are playing any champion, really. It's very helpful to just have a health pot almost all of the time. So we are trying to work. We did get the mid tower. Right now, I believe they have a couple towers, and we only have one, which is okay. It's going to happen. And we'll go ahead and keep talking about, let's say, masteries. Pretty standard stuff here for most of your mid casters. We're going to go with 2109 page. You can also do the 2190 page. Actually going to move in here with the Path, go through the wall, lock him down. He is also going to just get Lux lasered as well, but I'll pick up a quick kill on him. I really like using the Frozen Tomb to lock them down. Obviously, in huge team fights, might use it on myself if we need to initiate, but it's obviously you're going to just mostly cast it on them all the time, so make sure you don't accidentally cast it on yourself, but locking them down for that time. And also, remember to always standard attack them too in between your casts of your Q, because you're really going to do a lot of damage with your standard attack. A lot of people, I think, always forget your standard attack does damage. It's something you really need to do consistently because that's like 100 a hit. Why wouldn't you do that? So here they're chasing. I can lock down Rise like that a little bit and help Lux get away. So kind of take some aggro from them so they don't get back up to that Lux really quick. So just a couple things you can do. You can also kind of use her as a support. I know some people do play Lissandra as support. It's decent. It's got decent poke. She can kind of self-initiate too, and she can lock people down, but she does have to sacrifice herself a little bit, and usually will take some damage because of it, but that's part of her kit, and that's just something you have to be aware of if you're going to be playing her as a support. Obviously, you're going to buy more support items instead of a full AP build, but, all the support builds all just are very different, but mostly pick up wards, all that simple stuff. Here we're going to move in, just use my ultimate right away, lock him down. Hoyt's just going to hit him and just blow him up. Probably didn't even need his help there. Kind of fed right now. We do have another blasting wand when we went back to base earlier. We are currently trying to build towards our next item, which will just help increase our massive damage by picking up a Deathcap. So that's what we're going to work on. But we're obviously going to be able to try to push this lane a little bit while he is dead. No one contesting that for a second. There's J4 coming out of the jungle on the minimap to go stop the mid push. And we're going to try to keep pushing these towers. We need to group and push these when we kill the people in those respective lanes and see if anyone else is going to try to come and cover those. But make sure you push your lanes. Very important not to just kill them and then run away. Make sure you clean up the minions in your lane so you're not losing out on any gold and experience. And obviously push those lanes because taking objectives wins you the game, not kills necessarily. So just remember to always do that. The last time we were back at base, though, we did pick up a needlessly large rod. Very helpful, obviously, to get closer to the Deathcap. It's going to help us out, too, with a lot more AP. So our pokes with our Q are definitely going to help a lot more now. And we're just going to be dealing a lot more damage. So if we get into any fights coming up, we're going to be good to go. We're actually going to come in down here. They're doing a little bit under the tower. And J4's now moving up here. He's going to try to jump on Lucian. I'm actually going to get the turret real quick because nobody wants to be taking that damage. We're going to lock him down here real quick too. He's going to jump away, but I luckily have red buff from getting a kill earlier, and I'll be able to pick up a kill from the ticks from red buff. There we can actually see Rise coming this direction too. So what we can do is just kind of poke at him if he's coming this way. Luckily, he can see me. He doesn't know where the horse is. And Hoyt, so what we're going to do is try to chase after him here. What we're going to do, though, is move over to him real quick and then try to lock him down so we get some range between him and Hoyt. He's doing a lot of damage to me because it is Rise. He does scale really well, but we'll be able to kill him before he can kill any of us. So luckily, we all get away there, and a few assists and a kill goes to us, so we are going to be good to go. Back at base, though, now we can pick up that Deathcap, and we can, you know, have more damage. Good for us, bad for them. We also did pick up an Amplifying Tome. We'll be building that into something in just a little bit, hopefully, if we can get to it in time before they decide to give up on life because they're losing quite badly. But what we're doing, like I said, we went over masteries for a split second. You can either do the 2190 or the 2109. If you do the 9 in the defense, pick up a little bit of bonus health early along with the scaling health as the game continues, and then you can pick up some magic resist if you want in lane or armor. And then if you're going to do the 9 in the utility, you make sure you pick up, I think, that bonus move speed, a little bit of mana regeneration, and then you can also get the increased buff duration. So when you get the blue buff from your, well, either from killing them, which is fun to do, or if you get it from your jungler, you'll have increased duration on those buffs, so you can have them longer in lane, which will help you farm, poke, and usually win engagements a little bit better. So that's what you do in either of those trees. Just depends on what your personal preference usually would be. Probably on Lissandra, I'd recommend the utility tree, but once again, personal preference. I use both. Just depends on my mood. Here he gets away from me in my lockdown. I'll actually just flash over to him, use the ultimate, hit him quick with a Q, and get out. And deal some quick damage. Rengar's going to show up, though, now, and he's going to lock me down a little bit. And this is actually going to slowly become the end of the game, because what we're going to do is murder him, when in fact he should have killed me, but luckily my team showed up to support me, and I'm able to escape with a kill and no dying. So we're going to head back to base. We can keep working on the build. At this point in the build, there's a few directions to go. I like the first two main items and the boots. It's really what you really want to start off with. At this point, because you have so much crowd control and you do lock them down, I actually will start to build my Liandrys Torment, which, as we know, will deal some bonus damage when they are stunned or unable to move. So we have some good damage there. We also get more penetration, ability power, and health. So very good. They're going to surrender. Everything you do need to know, obviously, is down in the description, as I always put it. But if you have any questions, put them in the comments. But I'll see all of you in the next build video. You can jump in like this, knock them all up as Zhonya ults them, and just smash their faces in with whatever you have up. We're just going to go ahead and try to finish this. I'm trying to peel for the Twitch again, although he was annoying this game. But we're going to go ahead and finish out the game. That's going to